Hey everybody, it's Matt here. Today's video we're going to show you how to do crystal bases using old sprue bits. Okay, so what you need is an old sprue, and to try and find the longer lengths, because this way we can get more than one crystal out of one bit. So the idea here is to cut it into a point. I find if you hold the plastic vertically to the board and then cut down using your blade, you can actually get the shape that you want, and I'll just keep going until you get a nice point, as you can see, like that, and then just cut it into the required length, and there you have it. There's your first crystal. Now I'm going to do the same again just so you can see. Now you want these to be slightly different each time, because all crystals are slightly different as they are like a natural product. And there you go. Simple as.
A few moments later.
Now the amount of crystals you use and also the size of crystals will all depend on what miniature you're using on, how much space you've got on your base. As I'm doing this is just to show you how to do it base. I'm going to put 5 on there just so you can see how like they look with clusters. So when you're doing your crystals, make sure you do more different angles, because that will give you a much more of a natural look. And the same goes with different length of crystal, some long, some short, some thicker, some thinner. Okay, so now this cluster is done. I thought I'd just show you closer to the camera. As you can see, it looks like a natural cluster of crystals. I've also added the extra 2 at the front just so you can see. Now I'm going to use sterling mud for this, just to give it a nice base. However, you can use any basing material you want, PVA glue with sand or any of the other. Sorry, I've totally missed some of this and just decided to record the mat instead. But I'm sure you've all put basing material on your minis before. So go all around, give it a nice coating, and there you go. On to the next step, and that's priming. Now it's primed, everyone's favourite bit, the painting. So you're going to need a bad and black, blood red, vertigo green, bright yellow green, white, and fluoro green. Now you want to take your base colour green, that's the vertigo green, and paint all your crystals. Now you can do this with any colour. I'm just using green because of, well, Necrons, and green's my favourite colour. But to get the effect, you want to make sure that your base, as in the ground colour, is going to be a dark colour, and that really makes the crystals look like they're glowing, should I say. So with this base, I would probably use it for, say, Necrons or Drakari or Eldari. It's definitely got that sort of vibe to it, but at the same time, doing your Space Marines in or on a Xenos planet would look kind of cool as well, because they're sort of, the colours would stand out quite well. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do 50-50 blood red and the bad and black, and paint over all the ground just so it's got a very slight red tinge to it. Now the TT Combat paints I absolutely love. They're thick, they're creamy, I can't fault them. The white is one of the best I've ever tried, so I definitely recommend giving the TT Combat paints a try. So here I'm just going with a little bit more red, just to add a bit more colour to the base. I want it to be mainly dark, however I want it to also have that sort of reddish tinge. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go on to our bright yellow green and do the exact same thing. We'll probably need 2 coats to get it fully covered. Now, like I say, you can do this in a different colour. Just make sure you've got a dark, a light, and preferably a fluoro colour to finish it off, because that will really sort of make it pop at the end, as you'll see. Okay, so now what you want to do is now just start doing a very small little border by tapping the paintbrush onto the base, and this is going to help with the effect of the crystals glowing and they're casting their light onto the ground. Yeah, so don't go too crazy with this. It's just a very small little subtle tone onto the ground so you can see that it's glowing. Sorry, it's out of focus. This is why I normally wear black gloves, so it focuses on the model better. Okay, so as you can see, it's already got that sort of glowy ability on the base. Now the next thing to do is all of the lines of the crystals you want to go over with white, and this will just highlight every single crack. Now this is the bit where you really want to sort of try and take as much care as possible. Take your time. If you make a mistake, just paint over it. It's, you know, plastic model at the end of the day. Some of them are sort of in awkward angles, so you can see I'm trying to move it around to find the best position. Okay, so now you can see they're all highlighted. Now what you want to do is just go around the very, very close edge of the crystals with white on the ground. And we're going to paint this with the floral green very shortly, and this is what's going to really make the ground pop as well. So as you can see, over the whole thing, floral green. Now you might need 2 coats depending on how well it goes to the first time, but like I say, keep going until you get the desired effect. You can already see the difference from the one and that has got fluoro paint on it, and the one that hasn't. And this is the bit where it really makes them glow, in my opinion. So yeah, so keep doing that. And then, like I say, we're going to paint the ground as well, but the very, very closest to the crystals. So there will be a gradient of how bright the ground is. Anywhere where you painted the white on the floor is now going to get, there you go, look, see, now it's going to get a little dose of the green to really make it pop and glow. Okay, so we're coming up to the end of this tutorial. Nice and simple, as you can see. You can just sit there and make crystals and bases all day before adding your miniatures. I just think it just adds a nice little touch. Now, obviously it's out of focus because, you know, it's me. But on the very, very tips and the tops of the crystals, you just want to do a little dot of white, just to help that sort of pop and glow. Just so you can see. There you go. So they sort of stand out in some of the points, the highest points. And that's it. So I just want to say, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I have got another tutorial coming out next week. But that's it. Yeah, like and subscribe. And yeah, be awesome.